All right. So this is John Osborne. I want to do a quick REVAS demonstration. Anyone that, if you click on this link, you're welcome to watch. I just kind of wanted to walk through how I have everything set up with my REVAS camera. And that's that. So it should be about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, not too much more than that. I had invited a few folks, but I'm flying solo right now, so that's just fine. So first off, what I did is I have actually used a Chromebox to plug my REVAS system into because I had them available in this classroom. According to the district, and I helped another teacher set up their classroom. It was the exact same using a student Chromebook, so no issues there. Chromebox, Chromebook, they're interchangeable essentially. So I think I'm going to start by just saying I'm going to draw a diagram, and this is how I have it set up. Then I'll take the camera off like a GoPro. I'll show the screens and kind of show the layout just so you can see. So I guess first things first, I have a Chromebox. Again, this could be a Chromebook, but we'll just call this the box for right now. And this is your computing device. That's it, right? It doesn't matter what computing device is. It could be your personal laptop if you want it. Because it's a Chromebox, I am plugging in power. I have my monitor. And this is the one that can be supplied by the district IT for the REVAS system. So I have my monitor plugged in. That also has to be plugged into power. Because it's a Chromebox, it's hardwired to the internet. Your Chromebooks or laptops would use Wi-Fi. I like the fact that it's hardwired. It's going to be a little bit faster connection. It won't be as fritzy, perhaps, as Wi-Fi. It's a Chromebox, so I also need to have my keyboard as well as my mouse plugged in. If you're using a Chromebook, those are integrated into the system, therefore you don't have to worry about it. And then the last kind of key piece is I'm also plugging in a microphone. All right, so I'm going to bring it over real quick. Okay, so the microphone that I'm using is our room mics. Okay, you have the on switch. So I just do, you don't have to press down and hold it the entire time. You just do this, and sorry, you have a little switch. You push that up. You have a male-to-male aux jack, so the headphone jacks goes into audio in, which seems a little bit counterintuitive, but there's a reason for it. I'm not talking through this. The recording is actually happening in the REVAS camera itself. So I just set this down off to the side, and what this does is it's basically your wireless link to those fancy speakers that they put into our classrooms a couple of years back. So you remember when we started having to wear the lanyards with a microphone? Well, those $1 million upgrades to our rooms gave us a great speaker system. And by doing that male-to-male aux jack into the Chromebook or Chromebox into your microphone, all you're doing is you're wiring your audio into your room speaker system. That's it. Okay. Good. And so what that also means is that when the students start talking, right, if you unmute them, because you might get into the habit of muting everyone at the beginning of class, someone raises their hand, you click on it, unmute, and then you hear them through the room speakers. You don't have to worry about the fact that your Chromebook has terrible speakers. You don't have to find external speakers. Plug into the $1 million system in your room. That's what it's there for. All right. So another thing I want to point out is that I also have my school-provided Chromebook separately set up, and I'm not using that to present. That is a second login. And so that's kind of off here in space. Screen. There's an art teacher when you need them. Okay, so this is my Chromebook. Okay, it's not plugged into the wall. It probably will be during class. It's Wi-Fi enabled. This is basically a student machine. So and I log into the same meeting. I know I have my account profile. It's the same one. I don't have like a fake student profile. Literally it's John Osborne. And I joined the room a second time. And the reason I did that, and I immediately had to mute the microphone, turn off the camera, and turn off the volume, because you will get instant feedback. Trust me, you don't want that. So you mute, turn off video, and you turn off the volume, mute the volume on your Chromebook, and then you can see exactly what the students are seeing. All right, because you are basically in this virtual classroom as a student is. All right, so I'm running everything through my Chromebox. That's where everything is set up. That's how I'm going to do my presentation. But I have a second device set up over here. And if some of you recall, when we had one of those Schoology trainings where he was talking, but he's saying, and this is what you click on to log in, and then you click over here, and it was like 15 minutes of everyone's like, what? Because he wasn't checking what the students were seeing. And we were the students in that case. And so by having my school device set up, what that enables is for me to know exactly what the student's seeing. If something's wrong, I can course correct in the moment, as opposed to someone calling my office phone and being like, hey, Mr. Osborne, I have no idea what you're talking about. All right, so don't do that. All right, so in my Chromebox, it is only going to have 2 tabs. So this is what the monitor is showing. All right, so you have Google Chrome, and I'm just going to have 2 tabs open. That's it. Okay. And I mean, I think I technically have 3, but it doesn't matter. So one of them is Google Meet, and the other one is my slide presentation. All right, for the class. And what that's going to let me do by having those 2 tabs open, I think I also have my Drive, but I don't care about that. What that, is a little bit more lightweight. I don't have to worry about my bazillion tabs on my personal devices with my email. I'll never have that screen oops going to my email in front of students. This is all they're going to be able to see is one of these 2 tabs. Okay. Now I'm going to share my screen. So present now. I'm going to start by presenting the entire screen. So hopefully, all right. So what the students can see is they're going to have my screen, my presentation, as well as my 2 profiles, right? If I had a few more people logged in, we could show this a little bit better. And so this is fine, but what I want to do is actually I want to stop presenting, and I'm going to click down here again, and I'm going to select Present Tab. So I have 3 options, your entire screen, a window, and a Chrome tab. I'm going to select Chrome tab, and then I'm going to select my presentation. All right. So my students now on their screen will only see the presentation tab. Now I'm curious about the recording, right? Is it going to record the whole screen, or is it just going to record the tab? So it's probably just going to record the tab, but that's okay for right now. So I'm going to go present mode. I still have my tabs available to me. So the students, all right, what they are seeing is, because according to my student Chromebook, what they're seeing is my slides being presented, and then they have me off to the side talking. All right, so I can still be live in front of them, and if I just need to change the slide, then I change the slide. All right, change the slide, that's fine. So what I am seeing as the teacher is I'm looking at that large monitor, and I have my slides tab open. All right, but let's say, hey, let's talk about this. What is this? Well, if you don't recognize, it's a SpaceX SpaceX Dragon Crew Dragon capsule. All right, after it landed. And so what I can do is I can actually toggle. So what I'm looking at on my monitor right now as a teacher is I see me because I'm talking, but I also see all the other students that are logged into this meet. Okay, what they are seeing is me talking and the screen that I'm presenting. Okay, which is just my slides tab. That's all they're seeing. And so the good thing is that that's going to kind of freeze, if you will. And now I can see all my students. Someone raises their hand. Hey, Nathaniel, what do you have to say about this? Jacqueline, what's your perspective on this? And I can engage. I don't know why I'm looking at my empty desk, but I can engage with their different faces on the Google Meet, and all they are seeing is me as well as the presentation. Okay, I need to switch slides. I change my tab. They don't notice I changed tabs. I go ahead, switch the slide again, and then if we're going to have a conversation about the topography of Mars, I can do that. I just toggle back to the tab where I'm in my Google Meet. Okay, so I'm going to go back, fourth slide, got a little John Glenn action going. Okay, now I'm going to be done with my presentation. Okay, well, actually, yeah, I'll just go ahead and stop presenting because you may at some point want students to work independently. All right, so they can still see you, but their screen is not controlled by the presentation. They're not going to be worried about missing any notes. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you, I'm going to kind of do GoPro style. I'm going to take this off the tripod. I'm going to show you what I see as a teacher. Okay, I'm not very good at this. I'm not a YouTube influencer, I apologize. So hopefully this is working okay. So where I'm at is I'm standing essentially in front of the whiteboard, okay? And looking out, what I have going on here is let's see if I can do this, there we go. So this is my Google Meet monitor, all right? And it's tied to the Chrome box that's hanging out right there. All the wires are hanging out. And you notice I have my tripod in front. And what that means is that as I'm looking at the monitor, I'm looking right past the tripod. So the students, it seems like I'm making eye contact with the students, but I'm just reading my slides or whatever else I'm presenting. Okay, just off screen to the right, that is my personal computing device. Okay, and so the screen looks, this is what the students will see is right here, and I can always verify that. For me, it's convenient. I have, whoops, there we go. There it is. So this keyboard and mouse are tied into the Chrome box. Okay, so I'm typing over here, I'm wiggling that mouse, and it's controlling what's on this screen over here. And lastly, I just have my microphone. It doesn't matter where that's placed because it's basically hot wiring the system to use the speakers overall. All right, so that's what I'm looking at. Okay, and I can toggle. You probably can't tell from this angle, but on my personal laptop, or my school laptop, Chromebook, excuse me, I actually have a ton of tabs open. And so that's where I could check my email. If students are doing independent work, I can still be available in case they pop up and ask a question, but they don't see what's on here. Okay, I currently have the tab open to see what the students are seeing. All right, so this is my setup. I think it's going to be pretty effective. You notice with the audio, I'm not wearing a microphone. I'm not talking extra loud. This is probably the quieter voice I'd use in my classroom, because if I want to reach the students in the back, I might speak up a little bit. But if you notice, I'm looking at the whiteboard now. You can, still relatively clear on the audio. I think that's all I wanted to cover. So if you find this video useful, cool. If not, have a great day. So if you guys ever need to ask me a question, I'll get back to you eventually, but probably faster than IT. All right, I'll see you guys.